Well, good evening, YouTube. It's your boy, Uncle Fred, back in the house once again. Um, Look, uh, I'm not going to play no Yeah, Alabama. I'm not playing any fight songs. I'm not doing any of that. I'm not going to do no Roll Tide. I'm not doing any of that because I'm pissed off. Okay. As a Tide fan, I'm pissed off. Okay. I want something done about it. Okay. I want something done. I want somebody getting a pink slip tonight. All right. Go ahead and hit that like and hit that subscribe button. Um, and get into this Uncle Fred experience. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. But listen, concerning this game, we have a game. We had a game tonight, the annual first Saturday in November LSU Alabama game. This time it's in Bryant Denny Stadium, 106,000 people, highly anticipated. LSU's having a down season, but we always like to slap them in the face every time we get a chance because we still remember 2019. Okay? And they hung 48 on us in our building. Okay. That's why we hung 55 on them, 55 to 10 last year. Had Ed Orgeron running up down the sidelines mad and throwing his electronic equipment off of his head. Okay. I like that. All right. And so this year we come around 7-1, number 2 in the country in the latest CFB poll, and looking for I guess you can say some cosmetics so we can strengthen our chances since we do have that one loss to Texas A&M. So here's the scene. It's Bryant Denny. It's 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, and we're 28.5-point favorites. All right, which I thought was entirely too many points, and somebody made some money off of that. But anyway, we get in the game, and the whole game, our offense is completely out of sync. Okay. You think I'm making mess? I'm imagining things. I'm looking at the play sheet of our first like 5 or 6 possessions, and what I'm seeing. We got the ball first, ran 8 plays, a couple of first downs, one first down on 3rd and 10. Then we got a first down on the next play. Then we got 3 consecutive, incompletes or 2 incompletes and a running play that didn't go nowhere. And then we try a field goal, and Paul Tyson, who's the holder, mishandled the snap, and Will Riker misses the field goal, 43-yard field goal. Could have been up 3-0, and it's nothing. Okay, LSU gets the ball, and gets a first down or 2, and then they have to punt. They call a timeout. So you would think that we kind of got our I's dotted and T's crossed, because they're calling a timeout in the first quarter. All right. Something up. So they run a fake on 4th down. Punter runs into the line and throws a jump pass to the tight end for like 18 yards on the first down. And I knew then, I said, okay, we ain't on our game today. All right. We ain't on our game because they really couldn't really move the football. And then they get down in the red zone. We get a penalty on a holding call. Give them a first down, and then they get a touchdown to number 11 and 7-0 LSU, just like that. And then we go 3 and out, punt, and they get 3 and out, and we go 3 and out, and punt. As a matter of fact, we had about 8 first downs in the first half, 8. All right, maybe 10. Okay. But they weren't like consecutive. We had like maybe only 2-3 consecutive first downs on drives until like the middle drive of the second quarter. It's about like 5-6 minutes left to go in the half. We still have no points. Okay, you do realize we hadn't gone scoreless in the first quarter since the game against Tennessee Chattanooga back in 2016, in which we won, I think, like 31-0 or 38-0 or something like that. But yeah, so we get a touchdown running down their throat. Brian Robinson gets a 1-yard touchdown run, and it's 7-7. then we get an interception, and then we get the ball. We get the ball, and then we hit a touchdown pass to John Mechie, and that's a touchdown. That's 14-7 at halftime. And I'm like, okay, all we need to do now in the second half, stop them, which we did. They go 3 and out. But more than that, we get a fumble. Okay, we get a fumble, and then we go 2 plays, 58 yards, touchdown. Bryce Young, John Mechie, 27, and we missed the extra point because once again, Paul Tyson mishandles the snap and throws the timing off, and it hits the crossbar. Or it goes wide right. Okay, so I'm like, okay, we're up 27. That's cool. Okay, get a stop, get the ball back. Then we pronounce to go 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 5 and out, 3 and out. Do you guys realize we had 4 first downs in the second half? 4 first downs in the second half. Now, I'm watching the game, and I'm seeing Bryce Young having to make miracles because nobody seems to be able to get open. You know why they can't get open? Because our play caller is a baboon. That's why we can't get nothing open. And then, it didn't hurt matters that my man Dalcourt, our center, goes down, and then they have to shift some guys around and stuff. But you know what? That's what the offensive coordinator is for. If you got some misgivings in the offensive line, you move some guys around. You call plays that sort of work to that advantage. Maybe some bootlegs and some misdirections. Maybe some other things to kind of take advantage of some things to make it work. But no, he don't make no adjustments. They keep coming and keep our offensive line off balance, just like in the Texas A&M game. Make no adjustments. And then you got Bryce Young out there trying to make miracles happen. Nobody's open. He's running for first downs, getting hit in the head. Nick Saban screaming up and down, trying to get a call for that. And it should have kind of been one because he did kind of get hit in the head. But the offense was completely inept. Our offensive concepts are basic and are easily defended. And nobody seems to see that. Now, you can try to blame Bryce Young for that. Bryce Young, 24 for 37, which is like 68%. 302 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. So obviously, that kid is making the best out of a bad situation. Bill O'Brien got to go. All right? And you heard that from Uncle Fred. He got to go before he mess up this kid's Heisman opportunity and blow a chance of us getting playing in the national championship game. Let me give you Bryce Young's stats for the year. He's for the year is 69.9 or 70% completions, 2,755 yards, 28 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's the Heisman Trophy front runner. And every game I'm seeing him back there. Nobody is open. Guys are ad-libbing on play after play. He's having to throw balls away. Nobody open. Nobody's is adjusting for the offensive line, and guys are getting free runs at him. He's been sacked like 21 times this year. And that comes back on the offensive coordinator. Okay, you can say the offensive line, but the offensive line, if you're who you say you are, if you're as smart as you're supposed to be, this guy's been a head coach in the NFL for 10 years. Okay, and has been a head coach in the collegiate ranks at Penn State for 4 or 5 years. Okay, and was the offensive coordinator at the New England Patriots for like 4 years. Okay, so I'm not hearing any excuses. Okay, your play calling and play designs are basic. And guys have to always go to the third and fourth option off of a route because nobody is schemed open. Now, last year when we was watching the game, there was a guy that studied the film, and I was watching his YouTube channel. He said, "Let me show you the problem." And I didn't realize it was this deep. He said, "Look, let me show you what happens in this Texas A&M game." It was the game, and I think that's the last time Bryce Young has thrown an interception, if I'm not mistaken. But he threw an interception in the red zone. Okay. And the guy showed the play. He said, now, compare this to last year in the same down and distance situation, and look at how the play is designed with Sarkisian versus Bill O'Brien. Now, and he shows, and look, on the left side, you got a bunch wide receiver set, which basically means you got 3 wide receivers stacked together on one side of the line of scrimmage. They call that a bunch set. Okay, that's a bunch set. Not to get too technical, but that's a bunch set. Okay, and he says now how you make better use of your bunch sets, you have to run crossers or crossing routes. In other words, the guy on the outside of the bunch runs to the left. The guy on the right side of the bunch runs to the right, and vice versa. And they crisscross, and you get rub action. In other words, you bump the cornerbacks off their, and you get 1 or 2 guys running wide open. The center guy probably runs like a straight down the field, and maybe does like a curl route. And then you pick whichever one is open. One of the guys is going to be open. But in his design, the guys just run straight down the field and turn around, and the corner just undercuts it. That's an interception. No misdirection, no creativity, no anything to make the defense think any other thing. Just a straight down and curl around, and the corner makes it. He just easily read it and picked it off. And I started watching the games and like, that's why Bryce Young is in the pocket hesitant and stuff, because the guys ain't open. The route concept don't have any to it. It's basically just go out and get open. Now, when Sark was calling it, you had motion, with jet sweep action and stuff on every play. And then the defense has to pay attention to that. And you have a guy going and another guy cutting underneath it, and a guy going deep. Then you got to pick a guy because one guy is supposed to keep the defense at bay while the other guy gets open. He has no second and third level offensive concept creation that allows guys to get open. It's just basic, go out and get open. And I'm seeing him drop back to pass, pat. And finally he figured out, look, man, I better just start running after the third, because if the guys ain't open, at least get some yards, okay? Because the plays aren't open, okay? I see with him more throwaways on that because the pressure is in, there's nobody open, he just throwing the ball away. And for him to do that as many times as he done and still throw for 67% of his passes and for 300 yards, tell you how talented this kid is. But he's dragging Bill O'Brien up the hill. Okay, he's got to go. Okay, before he ruined this kid. Okay, I'm sorry. This kid is special. For a guy who's only the first time starter, the way he's able to manipulate things, the calmness that he employs. With only having 8-9 starts under his belt, carrying an inept play caller, I'm sorry, man. Bill O'Brien's got to go. 3 straight 3-and-outs, 4 first downs in the whole second half, and constantly in pressure. I guarantee you, Mac Jones last year in Sark's system, and don't forget my man, what is his name? The center last year, Dickinson. Remember, he got hurt at the end of the season. And actually, in the SEC championship game, he got hurt and was gone for the year. And we had to end up playing Notre Dame and Ohio State without him, with other guys, and they didn't miss a beat because Sark adjusted the play calling and the route adjustment to compensate, and the movement in the pocket to compensate for that. All last year, Mac Jones got sacked about 9 times in 13 games. Bryce Young been sacked like 20 times in 9 games. Okay, 21 times, and it was 18 times, and he got sacked like 3 times tonight. And I know one game he said I sacked like 4 or 5 times, I think, in Texas A&M. And it's like Bill O'Brien he controls all of the offense, the protections, making sure guys know their assignments, know where they're supposed to, who they're supposed to block. That falls under him. Alabama had 308 yards of total offense. There's about been 4 games this season we had 300 yards at the half. 360. We scored 20 points. Do you realize we hadn't scored less than 31 points since 2018? 20 points, 16 first downs, 4 of 13 on third down. We ran the ball for 6 yards as a team. No, I'm not gonna yell, "Yay, Alabama, roll tide." I'm not yelling at that. I'm yelling, Bill got to go before he ruin us. I'm sorry. We'll have no chance of beating Georgia with the defense they have, with him calling plays, with his simplistic offensive creation. I'm sorry. One and done. Get his butt out of here. All right. Now I don't know this narrow win. We got a 6-point win against a 4-6, 4-5 LSU team that had about 8 starters missing, had guys playing cornerback that hadn't played all season, still couldn't get nothing open on them on a consistent basis. Now, you can say some of that is John Mechie's fault. Some of that is Jameson Williams' fault. Jameson Williams, 10 catches, 160 yards, and a touchdown. He made do with John Mechie, 9 catches, 73 yards, and a touchdown. But really, nobody has done the backs. Caught really nothing out of the backfield. No creativity there. No misdirection there. No leaks out of the backfield. No wheel routes coming out the backfield. None of that stuff. Just basic stuff that just easily defended. And I'm hot right now. Now, I don't know what this means for us in the CFP polls, because I know Michigan State, I kind of like Michigan State because I like Mel Tucker. He's a Nick Saban disciple, played, coached under him at LSU. I think he ended up getting some other jobs while Nick went to the NFL, and he came back and joined him at Alabama. And then when Kirby Smart left to go to Georgia, he took him with him to Georgia. And then after a couple of years there, he left there and is at Michigan State, got the job at Michigan State, and was doing a wonderful job. And actually, if Alabama didn't win it, I was kind of pulling for them to win it if Alabama couldn't win it, But they lost today, and Cincinnati barely won over Tulane, a team that's barely. I think they were 3-8. They had to overturn a touchdown late in the game that could have tied the game up and send it to overtime. But the guy fumbled going into the end zone, and there was a question as to whether the guy reached the ball across before he lost possession. And they ruled that he had lost it prior to, so Cincinnati held on for a 28-20 lead, so win. So we know Georgia's holding on because I know they won today over Missouri. I think it was like 43-6, so I know they hold their position. We were number 2. I think Cincinnati was and I know Michigan State was 3, and I think Cincinnati was 4. And so I think those kind of moved them because Cincinnati had a close loss. We had a close win. We had a close win. Michigan State lost, so I think we still stay in the top 4. But man, up next we play New Mexico State, which is one of the worst programs in Division I. Okay, I think they may be 0-8 or something like that. So then we play Arkansas, and then we play Auburn, and then that's the end of the regular season. So we got New Mexico State, Arkansas, and then Auburn. If we don't get our thing together, we're gonna lose. And I'm gonna tell you something: Nick Furon lose to Auburn one more time in the region. That would be like 3 out of 5, and people are gonna be looking at him sideways. I know you won the national championship, but you gotta beat Auburn. Can't be losing to them, 3 times in 5 years. They lost to them in 17, lost to them in 19, and if they lose to them this year, that'd be 3 times in 5 years. Okay, so and they won in 18 and won in 20. But to lose them 3 times in 5 years is not acceptable. He knows that. Can't go down there and lay an egg down there. He just can't. They're gonna be looking at him sideways. So anyhow, that's where we're standing now. Alabama's 8-1, probably a hold on to their number 2 ranking. But man, if you're a Tide fan, you're a true Tide fan, and you know football the way I know it, you cannot be happy with that win at all. It's like you won, but it's like you lost, because we just did not play well. Defense played pretty good. Held LSU to like 300 and I think they held them to 296 yards. They were 5 of 18 on third down. They sacked their quarterback like 4 times, 3-4 times, and forced him into some bad throws and had an interception. We had a fumble. Bryce Young fumbled on a sack when he, they didn't pick up the protection and he got sacked. Nobody was open. He took a hit and got sacked. And so in time of possession was about even. We 28-44, lost the time of possession to them for like 4 minutes. Can't be happy about a win like that, but I guess to get a win and get a chance to move on is something you really got to be looking for. But I know we can't win every game 45-3 or 52-24 like we beat Tennessee the last time we played, and we had a week off to prepare for them. That's what makes that disappointing. You had a week off and your offense couldn't come up with nothing better than that. That's why I'm telling you, Bill O'Brien got to go. That's all I got from the desk of Uncle Fred today. I'm not going to go into any details about the drive. There wasn't nothing to talk about. They're 3 and out. We had like 8 3-and-outs in the game. 8 3-and-outs. 16 total first downs. 0 for 2 on fourth down. So, but anyway, that's all I got from the desk of Uncle Fred. I would give you a roll tide, but I ain't got it in me tonight. I ain't got a roll tide in me tonight. So let's just hope for a better game in the rest of the season. And hopefully we can get into that CFB College Football Championship. And let's see what happens. See, can we defend our title? But that's all I got. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. All my Roll Tide fans, I hope y'all are upset with me. All right. Get with me on this. We can't shake pom-poms today. This ain't a pom-pom shaking day. All right. No pom-poms. No pom-poms today. No, not playing nothing on the thing, like I did coming into the Tennessee game. Not playing nothing, none of that. Okay. We played like boo-boo today. All right. Luckily, our defense bailed us out. And then that fumble / incomplete pass was total BS. Because that ball, that was a Tom Brady thing where he went and then when he went to put the ball slipped out of his grasp. That was a fumble. I don't care what the announcer said. I got good sense, but you know what? I'm not going to worry about that. That's all I got. Uncle Fred, we out.